Hey, 2013, first 12 minutes with Killboy on the side of Deals Gap, Tail of the Dragon, whichever you refer to it as. Saturday, what is it, April 13th, a little after 2 p.m. A little crispy out. It's probably about 60. We were up around upper 70s there for a few days, but we had some storms come through, cold front come through a couple days ago. So yeah, as you can see, traffic's still pretty light this time of year. We've got a couple of car groups in the area. S2000 Rally this weekend, the little Honda S2000 cars, and Toyota MR2 Spiders. Not a whole lot. S2000's probably about 40 or so cars. MR2's about half that. Two sheriffs on motorcycles and one state trooper in a car that I've seen today. Yeah, not a lot to talk about just yet. Last weekend was a little interesting. They came out and painted the road lines with the paint crew on Saturday. You may have saw that on the highlights last week. Maybe not the best day of the week to come out here and paint lines, but it was a crew from Ohio or something. They probably didn't even know what this road was about. Just figures another federal highway gig. MR2 Spiders here. Had something kind of funny happen last weekend during the line painting debacle on Saturday. I was a little busy because it was the first nice weekend really, and a lot of locals finally got their bikes out. Such a long winter. It wasn't terribly cold winter, but it just seemed like it drug on forever. And so it was a little busy last weekend. They were out here doing the line thing, and you know, part of the procedure is they have a truck out front that kind of warns oncoming traffic, and he sweeps a little bit. Pickup truck sweeps a little bit on the road if he needs to, where they're going to paint the line. Then the line truck comes through, paints the line. And there's a couple of vehicles behind him that hold back traffic, so the paint has a minute to dry before people track on it. The most rearward vehicle that they have is kind of a big supply truck that brings extra paint, I guess, with them, and they got signs on the back of it that says "Wet paint, do not pass," pointing down at the little arrows pointing down on whichever side of the road they're painting, I guess. And then he stays about a mile back behind the paint truck and drives the same pace that the paint truck does, more or less. So you're looking at, you know, 5 to 10 miles an hour forward progress, and a line of cars behind him, you know, he's holding them back so that, like I said, the paint has time to dry. Well, apparently one of those people didn't really know what was going on. They didn't have signs up on the ends of the road or anything explaining what was going on. So if you come up at the back of this line of traffic, you know, it's like you may not understand what's going on. I get it now, but this guy, I guess he just goes to show how furious people get when they're being held up to that extent. He busted a U-turn and came back to where I was at, pulled in kind of hot, and I can't ever tell if somebody's messing with me or if they're really annoyed, but he seemed annoyed, seemed irate, and he's asking me, you know, what's with the photos? What do you do with them? And I'm standing right in front of a big banner that says, see these photos at killboy.com. So I explained to him, you know, what we did with them and everything, and he's like, is it you guys that are holding up traffic? And I was just perplexed at first. I was like, what? And he said, is that one of your trucks out in front of all that traffic holding everybody up? And I said, no, they're painting the road lines. And before I could even finish the sentence, he just floored it and drove off in the other direction. So I guess he's probably still irate with me, like it's my fault. How you doing?
All right. You got a card or something?
Yes, sir. You put everything online by date and categories. Just remember the date, touring bikes, and you'll see the pictures.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Be careful.
Give me other nuts out here.
See, I thought that was pretty funny. First time I've ever been blamed for traffic being slowed down intentionally.